Oh, what's going on, everybody? We have a very exciting one for you today. Today, I'm going to show you a deal that I just closed. But the thing about this deal is that it's not a new deal. This is actually a property that we bought and sold on seller financing 3 years ago. And we just got it back and sold it again. I'm going to tell you everything about this deal and a very specific thing we put in our contract that allowed for us to get this deal back and show you how this massively increased our profitability. I'm going to show you all the numbers of this deal, break down the exact numbers, and this one will definitely leave you with a new tool in your tool belt for the future deals that you do. So let's go ahead and dive in. So today I'm going to show you how I turned $10,000 into $361,954.59 of potential future profit, and how one contract clause changed everything for us. So I sold this house twice and made more money the second time. And there's one sentence in this contract that most investors never use that nearly doubled our profits. So if you guys don't know me already, my name is Philip Loudon. We've done over 200 transactions over the past 6 years. We've done over 70 wrap deals. And we've also raised about $2 million in private capital. Our big thing is cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. The goal of real estate is to create a life of freedom and to do good while you're doing it. We're all about escaping the rat race, getting more monthly recurring revenue, monthly income coming in passively than our monthly burn rate, what we spend every single month, because that is the path to freedom. And that is goal number one in real estate. And we will show you exactly how to get there. So this deal today is a real deal. It's real numbers. We just got it sold yesterday. So I'm really excited to show you guys everything about this. I'll show you guys the original contracts and stuff as well. But for this deal, we bought this property on seller financing. And so we actually paid probably more than the property was worth when we locked it up, but we got it for 3.4% interest and a $3,000 down payment. I think it's actually 3,500 down. So extremely low down payment. And then our interest rate is amazing. This was on 20-year financing. So over the next 20 years, we're going to pay him $190,000 with 3,000 down. And we acquire this with seller financing. So we paid more than the property's probably worth on market, but in exchange for that, we got this really nice interest rate. And I'll show you these numbers a little bit later. And then we sold this property for $199,000 to a first generation family homeowner. So the guy bought for $199,000. I think he brought 20,000 down. And so we actually ended up being a little bit underwater on this deal starting off. And so this guy lived in the property for 3 years. And so we collected cash flow, $500 a month, every single month for 3 years, right? So you calculate that's about $18,000. And then the seller had to move back to Mexico. And what we have in our contracts is we have a first right of refusal clause. And what that means is that if he goes to sell this property, we have the right to buy for whatever he's going to sell it for, to buy it back. And so for him, he actually had it listed for 200,000 and 205,000, and he just couldn't get it moved. And he had a really urgent situation come up where he had to move back to Mexico, right? So he needed to get the property sold. He had it listed for 2 months. We were talking to him. He was actually a little bit behind on his payments. And we're like, hey, I know you're trying to move, but like you need to stay up to date with your payments. He owed us a little bit of money. He couldn't get the property sold. He was motivated. And so he said, hey, I want you guys to take this property back. And what we did was we offered to buy the property back from him for $10,000. That way we can give him $10,000, we get the property back, and we can immediately go and sell it again on seller financing. So the first right of refusal, how it works is before he could sell the property to anyone else, he had to offer it back to us first. And this is a clause that we want to have in all of our contracts. I'll show you how the numbers work very shortly, but we spent $10,000 to get the property back. Over the past 3 years, what happened, because we had that really low interest rate, is we paid $31,000, around $31,000 down in principal pay down. So that means that on the underlying financing, on that seller financing note, we paid off $31,000 and then we bought it back for $10,000. So what we owe to the seller today, the original seller on the seller finance note, is $155,432, where before we owed $190,000. So we've already paid down that money. Plus, we already made all that cash flow money as well. And now we have a 3.4% interest loan with 16 years remaining. So now we got this property back, and we also get to capitalize on some of the appreciation that occurred in this market as well. So we now are selling the property for $219,000 with $15,000 down. So that $10,000 that we put out, we're getting back immediately from that down payment. So now we just took back this property for 10,000 and we sold it for 15. And I think the PITI is also higher. It's about $300 higher in PITI, which is also Amazing. So we owe 1040 per month. We collect 1850 per month. This deal is now going to cash flow $710, which is awesome. Really, really, really amazing. Cool. Question: are you guys using First Right of Refusal? Drop the comment below. Also, if you're not subscribed to our channel and you're seeing this video for the first time, definitely subscribe. We do these videos all the time to break down real deals for you guys and open your mind. Because once again, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, building a good business, and this is how we do it. Okay, so now let's dive into the specifics of this deal and how these numbers actually look. Okay, so when we purchased the property, we purchased it for $190 with $3,500 down, right? And this is back in 2022. It was a 20-year term as well. So we're paying 1071 per month PI, principal and interest. And then with taxes and insurance, this deal actually wasn't that beautiful of a deal. It was a fine deal. The red and the sad face means that the profit is not high enough for us, but if the deal went long enough, it would be very profitable because of that fine underlying financing that we got. So we got this property back for $10,000. I mean, you can see we sold it on contract for deed for $199 with $25,000 as a down payment. So at that point, this deal made sense for us because, we got that large down payment. So we were basically making $22,000 off the bat. We put $3,500 down and then we got $25,000 down. So for us, the deal, it still makes dollar and cents because we made $22,000 upfront on this deal. We were collecting that cash flow for several years. And now we got the property back and we resold it for $219,000. So about $20,000 more, 15,000 down, 8.3% interest. So about the same interest rate, and 1850 per month. So with that 1850 per month coming in, we were now cash flowing $495 per month. We now have a new equity on this note of $49,467. And this deal will now make over twice what it would have made before. So you can see how we turned this deal. We got it back, and we also were collecting that cash flow for 3 years. So this is just a really beautiful deal. So we bought it back for $10,000. We got $15,000 down. So we made some more money up front. And now we built in, a guy never sells or refinances, and it goes for 30 years. We have the ability to make $361,000 of additional profit on this one property because of one line inside of our contract that gives us the right to buy the property back. So this is the power of seller financing. This is the power of having proper paperwork. This is the power of understanding your market, understanding how to do this model over and over again. And another thing to note on this deal is that this guy tried to sell it on market for 2 or 3 months. He listed it for 203 in November, and he couldn't move. The market was super slow. Yeah, so he tried to sell this since August for 205, and he couldn't do it, right? And so we came back and just took it over, and he was getting behind on payments as well. And then we went ahead and sold it on seller financing for $219,900. He could not get it sold for 201. Once again, this is the power of seller financing. This is the power of knowing these systems and how to build this out. And this is amazing. A property could not sell for 201, and we sold it for $220,000, right? Comment below, ask me any questions that you have. If there's anything that's not clear, ask questions. Always the ones who get the most results are the ones who ask the most questions. So do not be shy. Post it down below. If you guys are interested in working together, I do have a way that I can work together with people. We have a mentorship. If you want to work directly with me, I believe that all information should be free. I share everything here on YouTube. I share in other places as well. But if you want someone to hold your hand through these deals and walk you through each step of the process so you can start doing this over and over again, then reach out to me, because we are taking on more students right now. I don't talk about it that much on these calls or on YouTube, but the opportunity is here. The opportunity is available. My whole thing is you do something 4, 5, 6 times, you get the hang of it, right? And that's the goal. Get the hang of it and do it as many times as you want to. But there's a huge opportunity right now. Seller financing is absolutely blowing up this year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Put your questions down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.